You guys asked for this a lot more than I was expecting, so there you go.
That's good.
Hey everybody, Koricon Nala here, and this is not a reaction, this is a review. The reason I didn't do a reaction to Race 3 was because of the problems some people had with tube light. And if you watch my tube light reactions, I actually edited out the reaction because of possible copyright issues. And I just didn't want to deal with any copyright issues that I might get from Race 3. But I've been getting a lot of messages from people ever since the trailer came out that they want me to review it. So I'm not going to do a reaction, but I'm going to go through it and review it with you guys and let you know what my thoughts are. So if you're interested, stay tuned. If not, and you were just looking for a reaction, you may want to move on to another reaction. So let's get into it. Now I'm not going to be playing any of the music because that is one of the things that will set the flag for a possible copyright issue. And since I'm going to be just going through it, you know, it's fair use. So I'm not showing the trailer in full like a reaction, so they have no reason and I can dispute it. But the music sounded pretty good. I mean, it was very action movie oriented type of music. It did sound very synthesized, which is fine, but it just means that the music kind of sounds a little mediocre. I mean, it fits the action movie aspect of it, but the main theme song just kind of sounds standard. I would have liked something a bit more because the trailer looks like it's got some high budget quality put in there. So I would hope the music would have been the same. Anyway, we start off with this pretty cool looking wide shot of him. Kind of, he's wearing a parachute. He's on top of this building and he's gonna jump off. We also get some cool shots of some awesome vehicles. You know, we've got some Humvees here. We've got these guys with the expensive car right in the front, and you've got all the goons with guns in the background. That's very action movie. I kind of like that. Helicopter, that's always cool to have a real helicopter. And the flashy cars, the really expensive big flashy cars, which is also one of the reasons, you know, that you would watch a Fast and Furious movie. And this trailer very much reminds me of a Fast and Furious kind of storyline, especially in the later films when it really didn't have too much to do with racing. It ended up becoming more of like a Mission Impossible kind of storyline. And I'm getting the same feeling with this movie. But the cars look really cool, and I always like seeing cool, flashy cars, especially if they're driving really fast. So that's awesome. I would end up watching it for that. Now we have some really great night shots of a city from a drone. I love the way this is lit, the exposure and everything. They did a very good job of getting these shots and making them look as crisp and good as possible. So I love all of the colors of the different lights, and I'm a sucker for night shots just because they're a little, you know, they're more difficult to pull off. Now this sequence right here, this scene, it looks like I would say obviously part of the music video that's going to be in the movie. A lot of you know that I'm not a big fan of just music videos that are dropped into the movie that doesn't feel like it has too much to be a part of the film, even though the lyrics may be a part of the movie. I like the visuals as well. I want the characters to be doing their song and dance number on the set that they were there, and you have a nice flow from going into it and coming out. But a movie like this doesn't really need to follow that even though I would prefer it, because it's very flashy and over the top, having music videos in there just is an added bonus to the entertainment value, since this movie is very much an entertainer kind of film. Which there's, again, nothing wrong with that. Every time I say that, people get offended and saying that, you know, it's got a lot more than just entertainment. Look, there's nothing wrong with pure entertainment. Since this is a pure entertainment film, having music videos in it is okay. This sequence right here, the him, you know, with the motorcycle going in circles to pick up the dust while he's firing the gun, very much of an over-the-top sequence. Don't really see too much of the point of him spinning the motorcycle around unless he's hoping that the dust kind of makes it difficult for people to see him, or maybe he's shooting rocks and dirt into the bad guys to, you know, put them off balance so that he can shoot them easier. That would be okay. But for the most part, it seems like just a way of getting a cool looking motorcycle thing, you know, a motorcycle trick. In this scene, he shoots the guy in the foot. But this scene right here, I like the way that the camera moves. You know, the camera follows the guy that is falling over, and then he kind of follows him with the gun and shoots him in the gut. I like that. You know, it's over the top, but I don't care. It's cool looking. Salman Khan looking cool with his swagger coming out of the car, the slow-mo going around, which again, very standard shot, but works with these kind of movies. Now this fight scene here, they edit it a lot for the trailer. Now I'm hoping that they don't do that in the movie. So you can see 1, 2, 3, like, and it's 3 different fight scenes in there. They're obviously not editing like that for the movie itself. And I'm hoping for longer edits. Now they do have some wider and mid-frame shots like this, so you can see everybody in frame, which is great, and the camera is stable. As a lot of you guys know that watch my videos, I talk about the SCQ, which would kill any action sequence. Shaky cam, close-ups, and quick cuts. You do that, and then the action sequence is pointless, and I can't stand it. I hate it. Some people like it, but I don't like it. So here, the camera is stable, camera is pulled back. Now it's just the editing, whether or not the editing will have longer edits or not. But since the camera is still and there's wider shots, so you get to see what's going on, even if the edits were kind of quick, you can still follow what's going on, and I think the action scene would look good. Now, they may do some shorter edits just because a lot of times the main actor, they have to do what they call editing around the actor or editing around the action scene. If they didn't get a lot of training for the action sequence to do the stunts, then you have to have camera angles where the punch is kind of at an angle to where you're not seeing the hit, but you're seeing it kind of close. You're not going to see it straight on where his face is here and the punch is going this way. You would see it where you see the back of the head and the punch goes this way, so that you can have the fist or the kick pretty far away from the face and it still looks like it connected, especially if you have a sound effect. So if he had a lot of training, you know, and spent the time to train for the fight scenes, I think you could have longer edits and it would look really good. If they didn't have that time, there's probably going to be a lot, you know, a lot of quick cuts and then maybe 1 or 2 long scenes like this one where he's sliding, but they edited in the middle there. So that's why I'm thinking they may have quick cuts, because you have this and then it cuts right into basically one hit. So I'm a little worried about that, but again, because it's stable and pulled back, you can tell what's going on. So it's not that big a deal, but I don't think it would elevate the fight scenes to a grand level, just in pretty good level. We have a practical car stunt with the car flipping through the air. I like that. You have a wide shot of the cars moving. I like that, especially at a high-speed chase. Now, for the most part, they're not speeding up the film to make it look faster than it's supposed to be. It looks like they may be doing some real-time fast driving, which is great. I think I noticed a scene or two that may have sped it up, but that could just be for the trailer and not in the movie. So that's good. I like that. Here you have your hero shot slow-mo walk to the camera, which is in like every Michael Bay movie. Pretty standard thing. Again, you know, nothing too new or surprising, just to be kind of a cool looking sequence. More wide shots. This one's got the helicopter. And one of the things I love about wide shots is you get to see everything that's there. Like, you know, you're in a desert and there's nothing really around you. This is a compound. You get a layout of what's going on. So if they have fight scenes or action sequences that happen more close up, you still have a lay of the land and you know where everybody is. So it's kind of like seeing a map of where the characters are going to go. That's why I love these kind of establishing shots. More slow-mo to show how cool a character is. Slow-mo is going to be a very prominent thing in this film. Here again, we've got some more music videos. I'm not sure if those two are a part of the same music video. I mean, that first part may even be a fight scene, but she's dressed up a little too much for that. It looks more like a music video. This is obviously a music video, doing the pole dancing. However, she does get into some fight scenes, which is cool. I like seeing the heroine protect herself. I like a powerful female character. So it's cool that she is doing fight scenes. I like the set design of this room. It's a very cool looking room. It was lit very well. A lot of pretty people. And we have more slow-mo. I have a feeling that if you took out the slow-mo, that this film would probably be a half an hour shorter. But again, it fits the aesthetic of the genre, and it fits the look of the scene, except the only thing is I think they're going to overuse it. I think they're going to overuse that slow-mo to where it's not going to be effective anymore. If you have something to kind of look cool or make a character look cool and you use it too often, then by the time you reach like halfway through the movie, it loses that impact, and then it just becomes redundant and repetitive. I do like this joke that they play. Give me your hand. Don't worry. I'm not proposing marriage. Which is a funny thing, since Salman Khan is known that, you know, he's never been married. He doesn't want to get married, that kind of thing. So it's kind of a running joke. He's had it in a few movies where they kind of joke about him not getting married, or even other movies that don't have him in it, and they may make that joke as well. And here we have a fight sequence. I do like the fact that she cuts her dress. For one, it looks cool, but it makes sense. If she's going to be fighting, she can't have a tight dress on. She's got to have breathing room to be able to move around. The kick that they're about to show, I want you to take a look at it. They shouldn't have edited it the way they did, because they had the wide shot established. Camera is stable. Her kick looks really good. I don't see the point to the 3 edits. You got 1, 2, 3 edits for just one kick. It seems a little too much. You know, you can still follow it, obviously. You can tell it's a kick. I just think it's edited too much. Some of you guys have been sending me memes that are based off of this scene. A lot of people have kind of turned this dialogue into a joke. Our business is our business. None of your business. Which the memes were pretty funny. I think the line is a little cheesy, but you know, whatever, it fits. It's not a big deal. Here we have more beautiful people, which, you know, entertainment movie. Here we have cars, they're moving at the right speed, but this scene right here doesn't make sense to me. It looks pretty cool. You know, he's firing two guns at the same time and not holding onto the wheel, but then he fires into the side. His car is nowhere near theirs, so maybe he hit the brakes, because then they start flipping. If they edit it that way for the movie, it doesn't quite make sense. Boom, 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 and then look at the distance that he is from the cars when they start flipping. I don't know. It doesn't look that great, but the cars flipping is neat, and I like that it's a practical stunt. This was not much of a stunt. The motorcycle is on wires, very much just for style, not for an actual stunt. Looks a bit silly. Coming up, we have a practical explosion, which I love that. It's not a CGI explosion. However, I think they put the scene on the bridge, so they used like green screen or something to insert it onto that bridge, and it's not really at that location. But it was so quick, most people are not going to notice. And I could be totally wrong that they did do it on location. However, it looks just a little off to me, to where it's probably green screen. But again, they did a much better job than I would expect a movie to do for green screen explosions. And if you're watching it very quickly, you know, not very many people are going to notice, and it's not a big deal. You don't need enemies when you have family. Now, does that mean that his blood family is against him? Is he related to the bad guys? Or does that mean that he considers her family because it's a love interest? Not quite sure where they're going with that. If you know, let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. But it feels, again, as soon as you say the word family, you know, reflects Fast and Furious. However, it would be different if his family members are trying to kill him and they're the bad guys. That would be a lot different. It's just the word family instantly says Fast and Furious, since it's such a huge theme in those movies. But if it's different, cool. I like that. The fools who are trying to remove me from this race. So I guess there is a race of cars. I thought earlier maybe they were just action sequences, like a chase scene, but maybe it is a race through the desert. If so, cool. I'm glad that they have an actual race. This was a practical stunt as well. I like him. I like the practical stunts. Good driving. Another cool shot. I wonder if you guys are noticing that as well. It's losing, even in the trailer, it's losing its impact of showcasing the coolness of a character if you're doing it too much. I mean, he's had, what, 6 or 8 of these kind of cool looking slow-mo shots just in the trailer itself. And we're 2/3 of the way into the trailer, and I'm already like, don't need any more of those. They should have just had maybe 3 throughout the movie. Instead, there's a lot of them, and I'm afraid that's going to get tiresome by the end of the film, or just lose its impact where you're like, okay, whatever, move on. This stunt with the motorcycle and the chase of the military guys behind him, I think just looks a little too, it looks too fake. Not really a big fan of it, especially the way that the motorcycle spins around after he goes under the tree. That's not something a motorcycle would physically do, especially at that angle. Maybe a stuntman could pull that off, but it's him on the motorcycle, so no. You could cut that stunt out of the film and I would be okay with it. I don't think it's that special, and makes me kind of just like, But again, it fits the genre. So maybe it's fun, but this sequence looks good. You got a large bridge of a highway. The motorcycles are moving at real speeds. The cars, that stunt with him flying over the car, that was cool. But this right here, this I do not like. They're obviously on wires. The physics of it doesn't look good at all. Like that whole, this doesn't look good. I don't like that. Maybe it's a little too over the top for me, if there's that much over the top stuff in the film. But again, it's the genre. So if you like it, cool. I think it'll get tiresome throughout the movie because a lot of the fight scenes kind of look like that. I would like more realistic fighting. I don't want to see them on wires if they're supposed to be like real people that are kind of grounded. They don't have any special powers. Whenever I see really over the top wire work, I want them to have a reason that they can do that, whether even if it's something so simple as they are harnessing the power of a god or an animal, and you just do it very quick, or maybe they got a, you know, they took an experimental drug, I don't know. But when they're supposed to be grounded in reality and they're regular people and they're doing a fight scene, I don't really want the wire work. I would rather see a good, realistic fight sequence. This is a cool practical stunt. I like that it's a bigger set. You have a real explosion. The motorcycle is doing an actual stunt, no wire work, jumping. That's pretty cool. I like that. Here's your gratuitous no shirt sequence, you know, for the ladies. Another music video dance sequence. I'm wondering how many they're going to have in the movie. Is it like 5? Seems like they've got a lot. This stunt is neat. I like the idea of jumping off the cliff, you know, with the truck, and they've got the kind of parachute flight suits. But after the stunt, you know, that's obviously kind of a green screen. I think what they're doing here is they're in one of those rooms that has the big fan from the bottom, so they can, you know, fly around, but it's a very safe thing, and then they put them in the thing on green screen. So it's probably going to look like a fake stunt from close up, but they probably have stuntmen doing the actual stunt for wide shots. So I think the wide shots will look good, and just the close-ups will look a little silly. Show them muscles. Rawr. Yeah, it looks good there. He's got a big rocket launcher. Very powerful. I don't know if you could actually lift that in real life, but it looks cool. 2 rockets to blow up the cars. Rockets are CGI. Explosion is practical. That's got a lot of elements, but I do like seeing the cars flipping through the air. A lot of the elements that were flying towards the camera, those were entered, you know, put in and post. But it looks cool. It's a neat looking explosion. Kaboom! Rah! I like it. Overall, it looks like a pretty fun entertainer. I don't think it's going to have anything too special about it. I do like some of the really bigger set pieces for the action sequences. It looked like they spent some good money on it. Those things would be really cool to watch. Some of the fight scenes I think are edited too much. Some of the wire work doesn't look too great, but it fits the genre. So, and I think I said that too many times, fits the genre. But you have to go into this movie with just the expectation of having fun. Don't expect an amazing movie or anything like that. Just get your popcorn, go have some fun watching the movie, see some cool music videos, see some cool cars, some racing, some nice location shots, but a lot of slow-mo establishing character shots. A lot of walking to the camera, a lot of, you know, trying to make the character look cool with the sunglasses, or looking at the camera, walking to the camera, coming out of a car, a helicopter, or whatnot. I think they're going to use it too much, and it's going to lose its impact by the end of the film. So I have a feeling it'll be a, you know, kind of mediocre, just fun movie. Nothing too special, but people will like it. I think it'll make a lot of money in the theater. It'll bring in a lot of people. So just go and have some fun with it, but don't expect anything too much. Just have a good time. But comment below and let me know your thoughts on this. What did you think of the trailer for Race 3? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let's have a conversation down below, but keep it civil. Let's just have a good, relaxing talk. Even if you disagree with me, it's fine. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and I will see you on the next video.